Good morning. I'm attorney Jordana Schwartz here at Delesio Law Group, and welcome to our weekly Facebook Live FAQ session where we answer your most pressing immigration-related questions. This week, we will be discussing the benefits of the O-1 visa renewal versus the EB-1, also known as the green card for extraordinary ability. Here at DLG, we file hundreds of O-1B visa cases a year. And one of the most pressing questions, or the question I get most often from our clients is, should I renew my O-1B visa or should I apply for the EB-1 extraordinary ability green card? And the answer to that question can really be broken down under three separate factors. Number one, what are your goals? Number two, are you even eligible? And number three, what does your timeline look like? So, if your goal is to remain in the United States on a temporary basis, continue working on projects here and there, but still, maintain a residence almost full-time in your home country, then maybe the O-1B renewal is a better option for you. With the O-1B renewal, you just come to the United States and you work on the projects that, of course, you've listed in your application that you originally came to the United States to work on. And so with the O-1B renewal, you can come to the U.S., you can work on those projects, but you are not required to actually live here for any extended period of time. There's no residency requirement. You can, come and go as you please at your leisure. Now, oftentimes, even if, your long-term goal is to, permanently reside in the United States, the short-term goal can just be to go back and forth, working on projects, and then you can revisit, what your decisions are in the future. Now, for the EB-1 Extraordinary Ability Green Card, typically individuals' long-term goals are to live and work in the United States on a permanent basis. You want to be able to just, pack up all your stuff, come to the U.S., find a place to live and stay here and not have to worry about, renewing your visa every 3 years. Typically, our clients who apply for the EB-1 Extraordinary Ability Green Card have already had their O-1 visas maybe renewed a few times. And so, they don't want to have to go through the rigmarole. If you do, if your goal is to live here permanently, just be aware that there is a residency requirement. So with the EB-1 green card, you do have to live in the United States for 6 months out of the year. But the positive is that you can also work in any field that you want. You are not just limited to the title under which you have applied. Okay, so the second factor is eligibility, probably the most important factor that we're going to discuss here. So for the O-1B renewal, it's very much like the original, O-1 submission of the petition. You do have to, again, show that you have projects lined up in the United States that you're coming to work on. So you have to submit tentative job offers along with a detailed itinerary. You do have to, again, have a petitioner. So if your original O-1 visa was submitted with an employer sponsoring your visa, then perhaps you would like to ask that employer to again sponsor. If if your goal is to work freelance on the visa, then remember you need to have an agent, manager, or business manager petition for the visa again. And of course, we have to submit the case to the appropriate unions to get new advisory opinions. As far as eligibility, again, the criteria remain the same. There's the same 6 criteria. You have to meet a minimum of 3 out of the 6. Again, however, the standard is not as high as it was for the original filing. Now, the standard is, you've already proven that you're extraordinary in the field. So now you really want to show the officer who's reviewing the case that you have been working in the United States since your last O-1 was approved, and that you've collected some new press, some new letters of support from distinguished individuals. Provide evidence of your leading role on the projects you've worked on. That could be with contracts or flyers or pay stubs, etc. So with the EB-1 green card, the standard is much higher than it is for the O-1 visa. You know, with the O-1, you are proving that you're extraordinary in the field. Now with the EB-1, you're proving that not only are you extraordinary, but you are at the very top of your field. You have a history of sustained success. And with the EB-1 green card, you do have to, meet a minimum of 3 out of 10 criteria, not just 6. And then there's a second part. The second part is, based on the totality of circumstances. Once the officer reviews your case, they have to determine whether, based on their subjective opinion, are you truly at the top of your field? Have you been able to show that you have been doing what you've been doing and have been successful at it for many years? So let's talk about the third factor, which is your timeline. This is pretty important as well because, depending on what upcoming projects you may have to work on, or how much time it took you to reach out and maybe start the renewal process, this is going to be pretty important, to keep in mind what does your timeline look like. So let's say that, well, first of all, we always recommend to our clients that if they are interested in renewing their visa, to start no less than 6 months before the expiration date of their current visa. And it's not necessarily going to take that long to get everything, prepared and filed and submitted. However, you want to give yourself enough time to, to make sure that you're accounting for any potential delays. So with the O-1B renewal, what you're looking at as far as timing is, about a month to prepare all the documentation. And then, we have to submit to the unions again. So you're looking at probably, 2 weeks there. And then finally, we can submit to U.S. Immigration. And right now they're taking approximately 4 to 8 weeks to adjudicate cases. And so, again, the timing, it's doable. It's quicker than it is for the EB-1. And, it's a great option, especially if you're just looking to continue, you're on a roll and you want to continue working on these great projects that you have been already. Now for the EB-1 Extraordinary Ability Green Card, the timeline is definitely longer. Altogether you're looking at about 8 months to a year, depending on, if you filed premium processing or regular processing. So, there's two main parts to the Extraordinary Ability Green Card process. First you have to submit the I-140, which is the petition with all of your evidentiary material, and then there's the adjustment of status. And this is assuming that you're in the United States while you're, while you're actually doing the process. Keep in mind that you want to make sure that your O-1 visa is valid during the time that you're applying for the green card. So we recommend, starting the process at least 9 months before your O-1 is set to expire. And, just to give you a little idea of the timeline, the first part takes about, I would say, about 5 months if you're filing regular processing, but instead if you're going to file premium processing, which we recommend, the first part, which means the submission of the I-140, is only going to take about 3 weeks to process at the service center. And then the second part, which is the adjustment of status, that cannot be premium processed. So no matter what, you're looking at about, I would say for the the whole second part, probably 3 to 5 months, which includes the adjustment, the medical exam, the criminal background check, etc., etc. So I hope I've been able to answer this pressing question that we get from many of our O-1B visa clients. And I just want to say, thank you so much for joining us for this week's Facebook Live FAQ session. Tune in next week to stay updated with everything that is going on in the immigration world. And if you have any questions that you'd like us to answer, or you want more information about what I discussed today, please feel free to reach out to us on our official D'Alessio Law Group Facebook page. You can drop us a line or you can email us. Have a great day.